that better, Annie? I had my wee microphone thing in, but I don't think it's charged properly. I was saying to you there, why do I keep the mask there? A lot of people have asked me that over the years. It's because it reminds me of the bad days when I used to wear the mask. When I used to wear the mask and lie and say I was fine. That's why. So it's always there. Keep it right on my shoulder like a parrot. I don't need to wear the mask these days because I'm comfortable with myself. I'm keeping it dark because I've had a stressful few days. Even I recognise when I'm stressed, when small insignificant things trigger you, like misplacing a set of keys. We all do it, me included, and I hate doing it. Because then you tell yourself you're going mad because you put them there and they've vanished. So we can laugh about it later. How you doing, Stevie, at Official Topic Talk? How you doing, mate? We'll catch up soon. Me and Stevie are going to do a video, guys, on some stuff. It's maybe a wee precursor to the part 2 that we're going to arrange. I don't know if we'll just go straight into the part 2, but we're going to do something. So, only take what you need. What does that mean? Well, what I'm talking about is YouTube. I'm talking about these videos. Hi Drew. And I'm talking about the availability of information. And it's not all good, some bad. Now, I always try and be crystal clear and tell yous I'm only speaking from experience. The wonderful world of mental health. How are you doing, my man? It's good to have you here. We're going to talk about you shortly. So, only take what you need from these videos, guys. We're all trying to do our best, okay? There's a good troll in the chat right away. Brilliant, that's absolute class. Well done. Well done, you utter fuckwit. Sorry for swearing, guys, but that is just one absolute brain-dead scumbag. And if I ever get my hands on you, I'll strangle you until you're blue. You absolute creep. You'll get a rise out of me, I can assure you. I know exactly who you are. Anyway, we move on. So, only take what you need, guys, right? What you need to do is look at the videos and watch the videos, right? Like the channel that I just mentioned, The Wonderful World of Mental Health. This guy's just building his channel off of the back of being slightly misled by someone, and basically, that's the kids out guysing. Basically abusing his position of trust, abusing this fella's decency and his generosity, okay? And yeah, Billy, I always get hassle, don't worry about it, mate. But thanks. So, only take what you need from this corner of YouTube, from our videos. So my video, I might actually get a moderator on my channel so I can continue the flow and not worry about these idiots. Excuse me. If somebody wants to moderate for me, let me know. I've never had one, and it's in a position I trust, obviously. Yeah, there's a huge abundance of videos in regards to mental health, guys. Be very careful with what you align yourself to, okay? I try and be completely and utterly transparent. There are no skeletons in my closet that I've got to worry about. I am who I say I am. And anybody that knows me knows that. People that have known me for 40 years will verify that. But unfortunately, not everyone's in this for the right reason. Now, it's kind of disappointing. It's kind of disappointing when... Let me see here. I'm going to... yeah, Yeah, we don't answer to the guys, Billy. They're clowns. As my channel grows, right, and as I talk about things and other stuff, and people put two and two together. Now, what I've been doing is I write stuff on other channels that are about those subjects, but I keep those subjects off of my channel. Now, I'm opening myself up for the axe in these by commenting. I don't need to put myself out there and get involved in comment. I have to do it with a certain individual. I have to do it, and I'll continue to do it. But his fans, his brain dead fans, will jump over and they'll troll us here, okay? Sticks and stones, that's the very best that they can do. They can never engage. Now, when I say engage, I mean engage in the physical. No one will beat me mentally in an argument. You know, mind games, psychological warfare. I've been doing it all my life. I've been, you know, you just won't beat me. You won't outsmart me. You won't outthink me. Good luck trying. But in the physical sense, don't fire silly bullets over. Face me, come and see me. I'm not hard to find. I'll give you my postcode. You know, hit me up. But they won't like the outcome. And I am a gentleman and I'm a decent person, but I can also be a very, very, very distant relic of myself, and I can go back and turn the clock back like that for these people who are exploiting decent, honest, vulnerable people. Yeah, Cooch, you're spot on. They're all guts behind a keyboard. Now, we've got a fella in the chat, the wonderful world of mental health, a genuine bloke bringing us his story, putting himself out there and looking to, you know, looking to strengthen himself and find some resolve in his life and, you know, surround himself with a good network of people. Well, he's found us here, so we'll help him. No charge. Our time comes freely, and it's legit and it's genuine and it's meant with the best intention. But only take what you need from these videos, guys. Damn the bam, I'm laughing. Only take what you need, okay? It's really important that you are very, very careful of who you align yourselves to. Some people are charlatans. They've been, you know, masquerading as mental health ambassadors and heroes of the people for a long time. They've never done a good thing in their life. They've never, you know, never been generous in their life. They've never been decent in their life. I'm happy to talk about the good and the bad of my life, all the good times and all the bad times. But everything that I've ever tried to do has been with the right intention. And I have done a lot of good in my life. I don't need to list it. It's not about that. I've done it behind the scenes. I've done it for no reward, nothing. There's not been anything in it. I don't need to name all the times I helped somebody or all the times I went out and did soup kitchens and anything else in my own time. I never ever posted it. I didn't have to post it. The only time I shared a charity once in Glasgow was at their request because I had a huge following and it made them tens of thousands of pounds in donations overnight. So it was worth it. But people are out there doing it and they're masquerading as, you know, heroes of the working class people and the downtrodden people who are, you know, who have put a knee down in life and who are struggling. Yeah, you don't need to charge for your services, okay? If I see you with your knee down, I'll put my hand down to you, or I'll get down on my knees and you can use my shoulder, get back up. That's humanity. There's no charge. You don't put a value in that. Yeah, mate, that'll cost you £12.99 a month. That'll cost you 30 quid a month. Ridiculous. It'll cost you a cup of tea and a hobnob and a chance to talk, you know. So I'm getting sick of it. I'm getting sick of reading this crap, this diatribe that's out there on some of these channels, tricking decent people that are just a little bit out of sorts. And it's really brave for somebody to come on here and make a channel and tell you their story and tell you that they've suffered, you know, that they've been at the bowels of depression and stuff. It takes a lot of guts to come out and say that. And it's very, very hard for people to put it into, you know, a dialect and narrate their own story. They're talking about themselves. You know, they're talking about themselves after all, and they're telling you a deeply personal, traumatic life event, and they're sitting talking into a phone, talking to strangers most of the time. So they're looking for help and support. They're not looking to have the mickey ripped out them and their pants pulled down by scumbags looking to monetize themselves. So, wonderful world of mental health, my offer stands to you. You're ever in Scotland, you look me up. I'll take you round the North Coast 500 for a few days. I'll show you the sights. You won't have to put your hand in your pocket. You'll come with me. You'll be my guest. I'll pay the fuel. I'll pay the food. I'll feed you as many times a day as you want to be fed. You can drink all my tea. There'll no be a charge. No charge whatsoever. Okay? Just come with the right intentions and be yourself. Relax and enjoy the scenery. That's what it's all about. There's no charge. That's a legit offer. Anytime you're up here, hit me up. So guys, I've called the video Only Take What You Need, and you'll be getting the message. Just get on it and take the good bits, okay? Take the good bits from my videos. I know there's good content. You know, I'm not always 100% of myself, but I don't come on unless I'm at least 70% of myself. If I'm down in the dumps, I'll just let you know that by a post, and I'll be out of the loop for 4 or 5 days, or however long it takes just to get the energy aligned again. I was on the road there for nearly 40 hours in total and straight without a break. I tell a lie, I had half an hour in Cumbria with my man Danny Christie and his lovely children. We had lunch together, and it was an absolute flying visit. Literally my bum barely touched the seat, because he's a busy man and so was I. He was taking the kids to the cinema, they were getting restless, lovely children. He's clearly a very good dad to them, they absolutely adore him, which is brilliant to see. Cracking wee boy and 2 lovely girls. He's got a 4th kid as well, and it's always good to see Danny, and he's absolutely bouncing just now. His energy's off the charts. I couldn't keep up with him. He's 100 mile an hour, but he's just busy every single day, which is great to see. He's doing what he loves: gyms, boxing, training, you know, speaking, networking, just doing what he's good at. That's his thing. So we only take what we need from these videos. Any bad, negative stuff, I always try my damnedest to keep it off the channel. You know, there's always going to be a few trolls that find us here, and they're going to try and invade, okay? And they're going to try and invade us. That's just like, they're playing those little war games that young people play on computers, you know. Some grown men play them as well. It's not my cup of tea. I did it for real. So they'll try and invade us. So, but they have to know who they're invading. Don't try and invade my privacy. It's not a good idea, you know, and I can say that with a smile on my face, because it's just like making a bowl of porridge to me. That's how easy it would be to deal with 99% of these idiots. And I say it with a bit of comedy, because that's what it is. It's actually laughable, you know, that adults do these things. So, by all means, if you're really, really keen on disrupting the flow that we have here and the good community spirit that we have here, be prepared to accept the wrath as well. It will be worse than your very worst nightmare. I'm double the trouble any of these people probably ever met on my bad day, if you wind me up enough. And I don't want to go there, so don't make me. Anyway, that aside, right? I've never made any secret that there's a bit of the old war horse still in me. I'll only need to lift the phone to Taz Caro and he'll be there as well. I'm only kidding. What I'm saying, guys, is this. We're trying our best, right? None of us are professionals. I'm certainly not. I'm trying to bring you a good community and good content. And even in those days when, you know, you're kind of out of sorts and stuff, it's still you still have that obligation. I am now obligated to you guys. I can't go and disappear for 3 weeks and just not communicate with you. I know that out of you all, that there'll be a couple, there'll be 2 or 3 people in the channel that actually really need the channel as part of their day, part of their week. They'll settle down, they'll watch a video, they might catch a live, and they need it because you guys, me and you guys, have became their crutch, have became their support network, have became somebody that they can talk and communicate to. I now know how important this channel is to probably all of you. It means something to you, but there's a very small number of people on here that truly rely on it. I know for a fact there is. I know what it means to them. Thank you, Migsy. That means a lot. Stevie Jones, you too, mate. And it's very important to me that we keep it going and that we don't let, you know, we're always going to have an umpty in the numbers. That's just life. But they don't, there is no reflection. They won't put a dent in us. We won't, I don't know if that's the real Charlie in the chat. I'm not sure, but it might well be. Nah, that's not my Charlie. So I'll just hide that for the now. So when you watch videos, guys, right, by all means go out there and align yourself, you know, find what works for you. You'll only ever get me the same way. I'm actually quite, although I'm complex in my own head, I'm actually quite straightforward in what I do and how I live. My mantra is straightforward. I won't do anyone any harm unless they seriously poke me with a stick. But it would take an awful lot to get a response out of me. And I'm not talking about, you know, a tickling competition here. I'm talking about really, you know, really don't poke me with a stick unless you want to find yourself, you know, somewhere you don't like. But most people don't like wading in dark waters. And some people are wading in dark waters with a stake in each pocket, a bloody stake at that, and they don't, when it comes on top, they won't be able to handle it. I don't like what I've been seeing lately. I don't like that there is somebody out there claiming to be like us, claiming to be like me, claiming to be decent, claiming to be trying to do the right thing in life, while doing the very wrong thing behind the scenes. I don't like that. I don't like that there's someone out there in the ranks claiming to be a good guy, you know, portraying this and portraying that, while being something very different behind the door. I don't like that at all. I'm really not keen on it. And that person will be lit up repeatedly until they get the message that we don't go away. We have a moral obligation to keep things clean here. I don't talk, you know, crude chat and all the stupid nonsense and duping people, going on and texting people and asking them to send you silly amounts of money and stuff. Guys, you don't pay for this service. This is a conversation. This is a chat over a cup of tea and a hobnob with like-minded people. Since when did that ever have a value on it? When did that ever have a price on it? So I know that there's people being duped for substantial amounts of funds from a certain person. Horrifies me. We need to stop that. We need to help folk and let people know not everyone is genuine, you know, not everyone that's got a platform is genuine. So just keep that in mind, you know, and as I say, only take what you need. Just watch the videos, and if there's little trinkets that work for you, grab them. But see if something's really negative. Thank you, Frankie. You're some man. Really appreciate that, Frankie. That's a lovely gesture. That's a lovely gesture, mate. Frankie sent us something for a coffee and that for when we get out. So there you've seen it, guys. The wonderful world of mental health is his channel, and that will definitely be used for good reason. We'll definitely get together. He will find himself in Scotland, and he will find he's my guest. No problem. I've got the kit. I've got spare sleeping bags and backpacks and stuff. Jim Smith, wee Charlie gave me spare stuff that they were no longer using. So it's all available. It's there to be used. You know, and I'm just kind of building myself up here, and, you know, this kind of summer flew away. I had plans that I didn't get to, but some people tell me their grandparents and stuff were in the Royal Marines. That's good, it's great to hear. I always love meeting old Marines. Yeah, cheers Frankie Clark, top man. Much respect, Frank. So guys, only take what you need, and don't let anything else register that you're suspicious of. So if you think something's not right and you just get a gut feeling about it, then you're probably right. Your gut won't lie to you. Your intuition won't lie to you. But I get that sometimes your intuition is out of sync. It's out of tune. Because basically, you know, you can just never ever account for what's happening, you know, what's happening next in life. You can't, you find yourself maybe under the weather, right? Or maybe you're doing something, maybe you're taking something and it impairs your judgment. I get when the weaknesses are occurring, and that's when they see the opportunity. That's when they see the opportunity. So talk to us. If you're on this just now and you're looking at something else and somebody is at you for something like that, talk to us. And maybe together we can come up with a yes or a no. Is this legit? Is it not legit? And we can help you before you get stung. I don't like to see people getting stung. And it has happened, guys. And it's happened recently. And but me and a few of us are really not enjoying seeing good people getting hung out of. It's not on at all. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of good information, and there's a lot of fraudulent information that's someone else's work and it's been regurgitated. And it's disappointing when, you know, be an individual, come up, be creative, come up with your own thing. If you don't have it in you, then maybe YouTube and maybe creating content isn't for you. If you have to rip someone's content off and regurgitate their ideas and their philosophies and their chat and their whole narrative, their whole mantra, you know, if you have to stoop as low as just ripping someone off, well, you know, this is not a place that you want to be, not on a public platform. You're going to be exploited, you're going to be exposed, and rightly so. Rightly so. So, I would appreciate, thank you very much, Ali K. Thanks, Ali, that's really appreciated. Much obliged. Let's look after one another, guys. Let's look after one another and realise, right, I'm not saying anything to offend anybody, I never would. Realise that some people have got not as great judgment as other people. I'm lucky, I'm blessed with good judgment, and, you know, I'm very, very aware of who I'm talking to and what I'm surrounding myself by. And I've worked on clarity, cutting things out of my life, toxic situations, alcohol. My clarity's just gone through the roof, and my perception, my introspection, my ability to read a situation, you know, I've got very, very acute awareness of situations and who's around me, and that's why I can see it coming. And but not everyone has. I'm very lucky with it, and I suppose that's why when it happens to somebody else, it's really, really magnified to me. Thanks, Rob Oldgoth. Appreciated, Rob. Thanks very much. It's appreciated by me because if I can see someone else getting fleeced, I'm going to help them. I'm going to say, tap them on the shoulder. I'm going to say, listen, you're getting had. Now, I've already done it today. Done it a couple of hours ago with a guy on YouTube who is involved. He's deeply in addiction, and there are others using videos of him for laughs and jokes. Now, it doesn't work for me. I don't find it funny, because the guy's defences are down. He's not at himself. He's not at the best of himself. He's not sharp. His mind is distorted. So there's nothing to laugh at. So I put a post on, I said, this isn't good, guys. It's not funny. And basically, I've then contacted somebody on Messenger through his mate and said, listen, you tell your pal that you can tell him it's for me, tell him he's getting lit up and they're taking the piss out of him. They're actually not having two-way conversations for the benefit of either party. They're taking the piss out of him. And some of you guys will have seen these videos and you may well know what I'm talking about. It ain't funny when someone's making an arse of themselves when they're deeply involved in addiction. Not impressed. Jambo, you'll probably know who I'm talking about. He actually mentioned you, Jambo. The guy's no well. He's down in his luck. He's taking whatever he's taking, and people find that funny. So if you're in the chat tonight, guys, give it a bye with him. Knock that one in the head. It ain't comedy. Addiction's no comedy. There's nothing funny about it. That's enough of that. So I was 40 hours on the road there, guys. I was up and down. I was down in Birmingham. I was here. I was there. And it culminated in a live sting on a man's door. An 80-year-old man who is a lifelong abuser of children. So we got him back to rights, we let him up, and he'll get to jail, hopefully. And as a result of that, other things have popped up in the radar and stuff as well. And most of you know now that I do that, and in my private life, I do stings and I doorstep, the P word, and we go and catch these people. And I'll always do it, and I won't stop doing it. I take great pleasure in doing it, removing them off the numbers. But I put a post on my private Facebook about a guy that was stung yesterday by Fleetwood Protection down south. An extremely dangerous man. He's just left court, an innocent man, NFA'd, no further action for abusing his own stepdaughter. They never found the evidence that they needed. And yet, the very next week, he's online grooming children. Now, I'm fairly calm today. I was always fairly fiery in life. But I absolutely despise these people with a level of hate that I cannot verbalise. And it's not for everybody, and not everybody likes what goes on with stinging teams and stuff, but I work myself, I work for myself, and I will only really align to Fleetwood because of how extremely professional they are. Incredible team of people, and it's a privilege to get the work from them, because they only give it to people they will trust to carry out the job correctly. So I'm really grateful for that, and I'm really grateful to be an available asset to them. Now, I was in a police station for a couple of hours the other night. I was falling asleep in the chair. I was so tired. My mate was elbowing me to wake me up, because you have to do the statements and give the correct information, because there was a live child, unfortunately, in the numbers, and she has to be safeguarded immediately. So she has to be identified and safeguarded. This is the deeply sinister side of, decoying and stuff. We know the decoys are adults, but when something pops up, we immediately assume it's a live child. Well, I was right. This was a live child. Horrific, utterly horrific. Because I know what's been going on with a live child, which I won't go into, but truly horrendous. So we're never going to stop. I am actively pursuing this on a daily basis, and it gives me a phenomenal amount of energy. It is a fairly negative subject to talk about, guys, but unfortunately it's a massive part of life, and we have to discuss it as adults. As like-minded people, it's our obligation to educate parents about who is out there online targeting your kids. So guys, I appreciate the support that I get, and I appreciate the comments and stuff on those stings. I'm very grateful for it. But really, I get the easy part of the job. I've just got to go to their doors and grab them. The hard work's done behind the scenes by the decoys that never ever really get considered. These are people that have been through horrific life events that do this job because this is them redressing the balance from their childhood, you know. So we do it for them. It's great to be able to help them. But that's just another part of my life that's entirely consumed me. And if I could do one job for the rest of my life, through choice, it would be that job. Truly. You know, I would forfeit everything. I would forfeit happiness and, you know, having nice things to do that job for the rest of my life. That's just the way I feel about it. That's how much it means to me to be able to do it. As long as I'm fit, physically, mentally and ready to go, I will always do it. I will always do it. So hell mend anyone out there who is online targeting children, because I'm coming for them in Scotland and we will get them. It's only a matter of time. It's not a question of if, it's only a question of when. So that's that. Well guys, James Zeta, AC, just your content alone has helped me greatly through my struggles with mental health. Even all you good people in the chat help me with all your positivity. Respect to all. There you go guys. James, thanks for sharing that. James has given everybody a chuck up there and a thank you, because, oh wait a minute, James was timed out by AC for 300 seconds. James, I've hit the wrong thing, mate. Sorry buddy. What the hell, how did I do that there? Right, James, I need to apologise to you. How long's 300 seconds? It's no long, is it? 5 minutes? Message deleted. What did I do? I'm a dumpling. See guys, this is how I need a moderator. I'm not good at this stuff. He'll laugh when he comes back. So, I think I just, because, yeah, I'm a lefty. Right, 5 minutes and then he'll be back. Everybody's laughing at me. Sorry about that, James, mate. I've hit your comment and it's vanished. I was actually trying to, like, read it again and I touched it with my left because I've got bad coordination. I'm a right-hander. He'll understand. Yeah, I think there's obviously, that was a good 5 or 6 trolls in the chat tonight, but, you know, bring on, guys. Bring your carry on onto me. I'm your man. You're right up my street. I can play those games, but I play for real. James Zeta. So we need to remember James Zeta, guys. I've got short-term memory, so you need to keep reminding me or I will literally forget. I've got sausage fingers. Chris Glendenning slagging me. He knows fine well what I'm. Sausage fingers. Sorry mate. Sorry, what was his name again? James. Sorry, James. David's a good mod for your channel, AC. Paul B, who's David? David who? I know a few Davids. There's a David Milne. There's quite a few Davids. Cooch. I can't believe I done that and hit that lovely comment. What a dumpling. I'll get him to rewrite it. So James Zeta was thanking yous all, excuse me, for being so supportive and offering, just basically offering compassion and help. I don't know, like, you know, I'm speaking to Danny and I'm saying, Danny, I've got a guy's messaged me to pass it on to you, you know, about how you've helped him and stuff. And he was like, oh, thanks very much, brilliant. So I screenshotted and forwarded it to him. The guy had hit me up, boy from Edinburgh. He's like, tell Danny thanks, you know, a couple of things in the videos he's put into practice. And listen, you need to remember as well, we're on a journey, we're starting out, you know. Okay, I'm maybe ahead of the curve in regards to the time I've been doing it, to some people, but there's still a way to go. You know, I'm not the finished article, I'm far from it. Yeah, I've cut alcohol out of my life and I don't have problem. All right, Mads, how you doing? I don't have things like that going on in my life, but I still have all of my little intricacies and my little complexities, behaviours that I have, things that I can't rationalise, you know, just like losing something or misplacing stuff, and I've got quite a way of doing things, and other people will look at it and think it's insignificant, and they'll say, why is that a big deal to you? And I'll say it's just because it's the way my mind is very complex, the way I do things. If you were working with me on a job, you'd know exactly what I mean. I'll give you a simple example. If I laid 500 tiles, right, if I laid 500 slabs, and the one in the middle was 1 or 0.5 of a millimetre high, well, I would probably lift 25 back and 25 forward and do them all again so they met perfectly and stuff. And they'd say, but the person's, nobody's noticed. And I'd say, but I know. And if I go home and lie in my bed, all I'll think about all night is that. And it will really, really drive me insane. And I'll get out of my bed and I'll go and do it at 3 in the morning because I've got this OCD with straight lines. It's quite hard to give you an example. Just simple stuff. Even the way I put things on a plate, you know, that like 2 slices of French toast, they've both got to face the same way and stuff. And the tomato sauce has got to be the same kind of pattern. It sounds crazy, but it's hard. It's, if you didn't, you might notice it if you were around me, but it's probably a pain in the ass for other people. But it's actually, I'd say it's probably getting worse the older I get. I have got quite bad OCD for stuff like that, particularly in straight lines and symmetry, you know, and I'm not an artist. But right there, is that James back, guys? Where's James? James Zeta, right, listen mate, I don't know, see when you time somebody out, can they not hear? Right, so James, I used my left hand, mate, and I'm a right-hander. I've got no coordination with my left, and I was trying to hit the little comments button to come back because you wrote those nice words, but because I'm doing it with my sausage fingers, I clicked your comment thinking I would be able to read it or hold it there, and I timed you out, mate. So my apologies, buddy. Everybody was laughing at me. But James Zeta said that he wants to thank everybody in the community for just reaching out to one another. And he's right. James is spot on. There is a great, and it's legit, when everybody is basically telling one another, you know, talk to me, you know, just passing comment and showing empathy to each other. That's what this is all about. So James Zeta, thank you for the really kind words, mate. If you want to write it again, guys, I probably do need some help, right? Because I know you can hit a comment and make it go to the top. I don't, you know, like a highlighted comment. That's really what I wanted to do with James's comment. I wanted people to see it. And I inadvertently hit it, and then I timed James out. So sorry for that, buddy. It was an accident. I'm a right-hander and I used my left, my sausage fingers. So, nice compliment from James, letting people know that it's noticed. It's important. He's noticed the decency of people in the chat, and I'm really glad that he commented. I like that. I like when folk let other people know that a kind word can go a hell of a long way. You know, it can save people, it can pull people back from the brink. Channel owners, right? So I need to get a wee bit of learning, guys, because you know I'm dead basic with everything I do. I've got a wee tripod thing here, and I've got a battery plugged in because, you know, everything I do runs off batteries basically. And so I'll get a moderator. David Milne, a few Migsies saying David Milne. I'll get a moderator or a couple of moderators, because maybe you can't always be on. You can't always be expected to be on. But a lot of the time my lives are done at night time, so you roughly know when I'm going to be in. But yeah, a moderator's probably a good idea. And then I won't need to stop talking and lose my mind. There's Chelsea Darts, how you doing? Lose my way, because if I've got to try and find a comment that goes back, or there's a troll in the chat, I don't want that troll to say anything that's triggering. You understand? I'm very, very protective of decent people in the chat, and particularly my wee mate Charlie, who we do have an idiot that trolls Charlie, but Charlie's risen well above it, and the troll's just desperate for a response. Not going to get one from Charlie. You might get one from me should we ever bump into you. But a couple of moderators would be a good idea, because if they write, you know, vile stuff, we can just wipe them, and then I don't need to get lost in trying to find it, because I'm a tech biff. You know, even having a YouTube channel is a big thing for me, because basically I haven't got a clue about online stuff. I'm absolutely useless with it. I would struggle to switch on a DVD player and make a film. Come on, I'm that crap with stuff. So that's a fact. If you show me 2 remote controls, I'm out. Head scrambled. Anyway, so yeah. Well, David Milne keeps getting suggested as a mod. I wouldn't have a clue how to make him a mod. But I mean, how do you even do it? I'll speak to maybe one of the other guys I know with a channel, and they'll put me right to that, because I'm a nightmare. Big Billy's from Ayrshire. I was down in Ayrshire, Billy. I was down in Cumnock way. I was here and there, Mauchline, New Cumnock, up through Colmore, Stewarton. Yeah, I've got around 40 hours on the road. Many hundreds of miles. Don't know how many, 700 or 800 miles or something. Non-stop, just fueling up in coffee. And hi Vanda, how you doing? And yeah, it was very worthwhile. It was very, very worthwhile, because I got who I was after. And there's other, you know, there's other teams out there doing what we were doing, but it was worthwhile. And then yesterday I was absolutely shattered. You know, when you try and catch up and sleep, but it's not really sleep, you're drifting, and you actually go into such a deep sleep that you're completely lost because your head's mush. Well, I came to and I didn't know if I'd eaten, and I didn't even know what, you know, my head was scrambled. But hey, listen, that's a small sacrifice to make when you're taking somebody off the numbers. Hi Susan, how you doing? So I will get a couple of moderators, guys. David Milne's been mentioned a few times. I'll try and work out how to add moderators, and if people are prepared to do it and help me, and then they've got the power, when they, you know, you trust their judgment. If they see a comment that looks suspicious, just remove it, time the person out, block, or open up their channel and block their channel immediately. We don't want kind of people triggering folk and writing crap. That's not what we're here for. That's why I say only take what you need from YouTube videos. And anyone out there claiming to be a guru, if someone's actually telling you that they're a guru or that they're an ambassador of something, if they're actually verbalizing that to you, be deeply suspicious of them. It's highly likely that they're neither of any of that. I am nothing. I am unqualified. I've never passed a test in my life. That's the truth. Yeah, I've worked all over the world and I've done this and I've done that, purely on savvy and grit and, you know, being double street wide. That's how I get by in life. But it certainly isn't because I can count to 100 and do long division, because I can't. But I'm a grafter. Never ever shirked a shift in my life. So yeah, be careful what you align yourselves to. That's the message of tonight. Just be careful, guys. Yeah, Tinkerbell, you're right. I did pass Royal Marine Commando training. I did do that, so I actually have passed something. Ta-da! I'm quite happy that I passed that. There was no other option there. You can't go down there and then have to go home and tell people you didn't make it. That just doesn't work. Not where I'm from. And not to my own mind either. I would have condemned myself to the sword had I not completed that. I wouldn't have been able to look myself in the mirror ever again. That's how harsh I am in myself. But I don't need to worry about that because I did do it and I had some great years in the Marines. And in fact, I was talking to a guy just an hour ago, my good mate Dodsey. He sent me he made me a bushcraft axe, handmade axe, sent it up to me. You know, a great guy. We shared a room. We were in HMG troop, SF troop together. You know, brilliant guy. A really good, legit guy. He was a great climber, very, very fit. And we still talk like we talked every day, you know, 20 years ago. And we talk like we've not been apart. So that's what it does for you. So I'm blessed with that I've got, that I can get onto a few guys. You know, you can hit them up and they know what you've been through. We did it together. We all done the same things. We all seen the same things. You know, we've all broke the same sweat and all the rest of it. So that's why it's a brotherhood. Regardless of anyone's views on servicemen or anything else, it is a brotherhood, and it's something that I don't have one regret about. Remove the politics from it. Thanks, Richie, for the comment about my poetry. I appreciate that, mate. Right, I need to watch swiping the comments with my left hand. I don't want to time anybody else out. Poor James getting timed out by me. What a pudding. Jimmy in Australia. How you doing, Jimmy? Good morning. Jimmy's in Australia, in case anybody's wondering. Jimmy's in, was it Brisbane or somewhere? Yep, Craig, see, you better believe you can accomplish anything in life. Grit and determination, that's it. There is no magic ingredients. Get up in the morning and go and do it. That's it. No one's going to do it for you. Jamie Sawyer, how you doing? Big Billy, now you're asking a question, Bill. We'll talk sometime, me and you, about that. Yeah, it's tough, David. It's certainly tough. 99% need not apply. That's what the ad says. Best days of my life. I was talking to a guy about the fake Walter Mitty guys that go on with 10 rows of medals and stuff, and they turn up at parades and things. I've bumped into loads of them over the years. They're crackpots. And I was telling him a story, and this guy couldn't remember his service number. He said, oh, it was a long time ago. Listen, see, before you eat, before you even breathe, they drum that number into your brain until you can recite it. Honestly, you don't know that number, you don't eat. Simple as that. P05 440 Papa, that's my number. Ingrained in my brain. I can see that number in my dreams. Can I get rid of it? Can I shake it? It's with me forever. It's like a tattoo on the backs of your eyes. And there's another thing as well. This is how you catch out a fake commando. It's funny that the kid on guys always want to be a commando, a pathfinder, which is paratroopers, parachute regiment, 2-2, SAS or SBS, right? So they all want to be one of them. You'll never hear a guy kidding on that he was just a mechanic or something in the army, right? You know, or a tradesman, and they do a great job and all, but they always want to be an elite level soldier. They can't fib about anything else. So, down in Limpston Commando Training Centre is the only place where Royal Marines are trained after deal. That's probably gone for 40 odd years or something. You will, there's a snack van on camp, right? Called Dutchie's. Dutchie Holland was the guy's name. Dutchie's snack van. And in Dutchie's snack van, you could order everything, and everything comes dripping in mayonnaise and chips. And at 2 in the morning, when you've just washed all your kit after an exercise and you've got your flip-flops on and your feet are covered in blisters, you've got no skin in your ankles, and you're half asleep with one eye open. Royal Marine recruits are called nods because they're always nodding off because they're so shattered. You go to Dutchie's and you'll go cheeseburger, this, chips, mayo, cheese, 2 cans of Coke, and they'll go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 quid, right? And every single guy in the queues orders 9 quid because Dutchie only had one way of doing the sums. So he must have made a fortune. And apparently the story goes that after 30 years of his van being on camped, one day they realised they had been plugged into the mains and using the camp's gas for all these years. No wonder he was a multi-millionaire. It was a brilliant story. But there was a thing called a Captain Kirk burger. So this came with everything, eggs and everything on it. So you meet a Walter and you know, if you've been in Limpston camp, 2 things you've done. You've done a mud run in the ex-estuary. You've been in the tank. And the other thing is, you know what a Captain Kirk burger is. So you'd say to them, what much is a Captain Kirk burger, or what's your favourite thing off Dutchie's menu? And they'll go, what's Dutchie's? See, the minute they say that, the Queen gives you permission to crack them right in the jaw for telling fibs. Moral of the story, guys, if you're going to talk shit, be prepared to get caught out on it. That's it. You can't lie. You can't kid on you've been a para. A para can catch you out like that, right, when you're up in the air, and there's a certain sequence of events before you exit the plane. The green light, right, the red light, there's a certain sequence of events. They only need to talk quickly about static line, parachuting, and right, guys will tell you, I've done it for 50,000 feet. No, you never. Don't talk rubbish. Royal Marines, very, very easy to catch out. SF, SAS, SBS, very easy to catch out. There's a great film, it's a Robert De Niro film. Ronin, Sean, the English actor, Sean Bean's in it. Kidding on, he's an SAS man, so he gets this job. And De Niro says to him, he's suspicious, and he says to him, what colour's the boathouse at Hereford? He goes, what? He says, what colour is the boathouse at Hereford? Hereford in Wales, where the SAS famously were based before they moved. And he goes, how the fuck should I know? Or I can't remember, something like that, excuse my French. And De Niro then knows he's got him, he's a fibber, right? So, when he's walking away, another guy says to De Niro, what colour is the boathouse at Hereford? And De Niro goes, how the fuck should I know? Brilliant. He just thought, you know, he just caught him out. He never had a clue either. But it just goes to show you, you know, don't be... I get offended if somebody's claiming to have been one of us, because my mates died for that, Barry, and they died for, you know, for the title. And I get very, very deeply offended if you're telling me that you were one of us and that you did what we did. If you didn't. So be careful whose company you're in. I know Royal Marines that would drop you on your arse immediately when you're, you know, being a walt and kidding on and lying. It's not a game. It's not a game, guys, when you've buried soldiers and buried good men. So we don't appreciate it. And neither do the parachute regiment. But there we go. That's life. That's life. And it was a long time ago. Big part of my life. Very, very defining part of my life. But a great journey. Something I would recommend to any young man that believes he's suitable for it. But I absolutely don't believe that everyone's suitable for it. Not a fan at all of, you know, forced service by any stretch. By any stretch at all. It's not for everyone. It's definitely not for everyone. Anyway, what can you say? So guys, we will continue to grow. We will continue to help one another. We'll continue to focus on you know, the good stuff, and we will continue to reject falsities and, you know, fake gurus and fake charlatans and all the rest of it. Anyone out there that's, you know, piping the drum, but for the wrong reasons. This has to be legit. It has to be organic, and it has to be legit, or I'm just wasting my time. If I'm sitting here talking rubbish off reading a script, it's just bizarre. Who between Izzy and Pereira in the UFC? Oh, I'm a big fan of both. I don't see Izzy losing to him. I really don't. I don't see it. I'll take Izzy. Probably decision. Don't know if he stops him. Guy's got some chin in him. It's a difficult one, that. So, we've had a good few numbers in the chat tonight. Very grateful as always. I know we've had a few numpties. I apologise for that. Somebody talking about Ant Middleton. Yeah, spoke to Ant. Ant's alright. He's not everybody's cup of tea. He's very divisive. He knows that himself. But listen, he's been made into a TV celebrity and a character, and he's playing the part now. You know, you get creative license, but when he says that he was there and he's done it and stuff, he certainly was. But yep, divisive, I'll give you that. He's not everyone's flavour, that's for sure. The guy at McDonald's controlling the traffic. You remember that, Susan? So Susan's reminding me of a story, and this guy, I says, what's going on here? I was trying to get a burger, I was starving, I wanted my pickle fix. And she's like, I says, come on, get out the road, let us in there. And he goes, no, you need to watch the big man. I says, how do we need to watch the big man? Oh, he's an ex-Marine. I goes, all right. So I knew immediately. I goes round, and he's like, comes over and all that, and all them, the yellow vest, the chest puffed out, and he's keen as the crack. I know immediately he's not an ex-Marine. I can just tell. And because they carry themselves a certain way, and they have a, I would say they have a level of confidence in social situations that they radiate, and he wasn't doing that. He wasn't doing much. He was just pointing and shouting, and I had a bit of fun with him. Will we say that, Susan? Will we say I had a bit of fun with him? Anyway, he wasn't a Marine for long. I think the conversation lasted a few minutes, and that was over. We changed the subject. Aye. I was also at a wedding, and somebody said, you need to speak to this guy. Now, this guy was an officer in the Royal Marines and married his wife in this uniform. And it took me all of 5 seconds to work out that he'd been fibbing, and he probably bought it in a charity shop or off of eBay. You do that in America, you're going to jail for it. Stolen valour. So this guy had awarded himself Victoria Crosses, George Crosses, DSOs, which is Distinguished Service Orders, you know, all sorts of stuff, gallantry medals. And the problem was, he had a sergeant major's lanyard on instead of a commanding officer's lanyard, and I clocked it immediately. I was like, you better take that berry off, mate, before I put your head right through the wedding cake. Gone with the wind. No shortage of these people. Don't get it. My name's Alex. I don't get it. I really don't. Jojo, how you doing? That guy was bonkers because he looked absolutely strapping. Officers usually always look strapping. You know, they're from very, very well-to-do backgrounds, so they always look healthy and strapping. They don't look like they were brought up in a hoosing scheme in the East End on pieces and jelly or pieces and butter. But how old am I? Why would you be asking? You want my bank card next? I'm only kidding. I'm 45. 45 years young. That's all I'm telling you. What's next? What's coming next? So yeah, he'd been telling people that he was an officer and stuff, and I think he'd gotten away with it. Most people really held him in the highest regard, you know. And sadly, Horvath Andras, I am 19. Welcome to the chat, Horvath. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Yeah, he'd been, you know, he married his wife in the, you know, in that uniform. Wow, what a charade, man. You thought I was in your 50s, Craig. You're going to get bopped right in the chin, mate. I'm 45. However, I've had a hard paper round, mate. Scars to prove it. Yeah, there's some interesting videos on YouTube just now, people claiming illness and stuff. And Commandant General, I believe, is the highest rank in the British Army. Talking about sepsis and stuff. And, you know, I've had it. You know, I had 3 bouts of it. Horrific, nearly lost my right arm at one point with the swelling and the toxins and the poison. So I got sepsis, and I'll just quickly. So there's the result of sepsis, right? I still get swelling, and I still get, like, you know, nasty stuff. And I can only say I had several shoulder surgeries. Several. But somebody writing there, field marshal. Field marshal's like when they remove themselves from the unit and they're actually oversee everything. They're like Sea Admiral. You know, I think they become it when they oversee like British landing forces or something, I'm sure. It's a bit of a weird one. It's more of an army title, that one. It's not a naval title. So I had a couple of reconstructive surgeries, and a piece of metal pin had broken, went into my shoulder socket. And with the movement and the momentum, it caused a bad infection. So I got surgery. I was in hospital for quite a while. And I was bright red. My temperature was about 41.5 or 42 degrees when it went in. And they put me in a cardiac ward. Now, when I say I couldn't even walk, I couldn't get out of bed. My skin felt like it was being raked by sandpaper. And I was bright red from here down to my wrist, down to my right knee, and down to my left ankle. 80% of my body was bright red. And the pen, they mark your body with the pen, it was moving, like you could actually see it tracking. Now, when I went in, my mum hadn't been well and I had been nursing her when she got out. And I drove myself to hospital, and I was completely and utterly delirious. And they said to me, "This is really bad. Are your affairs in order?" I went, "Well, you know, yeah, let's crack on." So they had to rinse antibiotics through me, not drip them into me. They were literally rinsing them into me, and he said, "This is going to be painful because they're forcing it into like the vein." So they were rinsing antibiotics into me, and I was very seriously ill with sepsis a couple of years back. Now, if you're going to talk about an illness that you claim to be suffering from, at least know the facts on it. To suggest that that the sepsis was located in a piece of your leg, for instance, and they cut it out, and now you're better, right? They don't cut sepsis out of you. Sepsis is an infection. It's like bloodstream. They don't cut it out. That's not how it works. It just doesn't work. It's absolute non. It's codswallop that's getting talked somewhere else in YouTube. It's ridiculous. So, yeah, the piece of metal that they said that they had located and washed out of my soldier when they cut me open, they never, they left it in, right? So the blood poisoning, which basically becomes sepsis, it's what they classify as sepsis. Your blood is effectively killing you. Now, where is your blood? It's around your entire body. So intravenously, they fight the fight. They don't cut lumps of meat out your legs and out your muscle groups. Yeah, I lost a bit of my deltoid, but I lost it because it was completely and utterly swollen and destroyed with infection and all sorts of stuff, just all pussy and gooey, and they had to remove a bit of it to get underneath it to get all of the stuff out. It was a real mess. I've got videos on my phone of poison running out me, like a pint of poison came out my arm. My arm is about that size. I've got quite good arms anyway. My arm was like swollen up that much. Literally, it was that size. Honestly, it was easily 3 times its normal size. My forearm was massive. My forearm was like that. So I've got quite good arms. You can imagine the size they went anyway. They were enormous and they were painful, and my temperature was sky high, and they were treating me with all sorts of stuff to bring my temperature under control and get the swelling down, because the Irish guy, the Irish doctor said there is a possibility that we will have to remove your arm. And I says, aye. I says, just leave it on and let it fall off if that's the case, you know. He went, no, you'll not get that choice. He says, you'll not get that choice. I goes, right. And then I realised the predicament, you know, the precariousness of the situation and where I was actually at. He said, because if we don't get this under control, it will kill you very quickly. So anyway, yeah, first time in my life that I basically said to myself, I'll get a straight 50-50 here. It's actually maybe a 60-40 their way. The odds weren't good, but I'm fine. Came through it. Healing was quite a while. It was sore, it was really nasty, a lot of damage. And that's why when I see someone claiming to have it and then a day later they're up making videos and standing around talking, I couldn't walk to the toilet, right? I had nurses carrying me. I couldn't walk, and I'm as strong as a bull. Believe me, I am. I could drag 5 men to a toilet normally. I was struggling to put one foot in front of the other. I couldn't get, when I went in the toilet seat, I couldn't get back up under my own strength. It ripped the life out of me in 24 hours. And yet there's people out there claiming it for sympathy and stuff. When I was in hospital, I told nobody, right? I had like one person come to see me because I just didn't want, it's my problem, it's my burden to deal with. So I don't want to be phoning my mum and, you know, my auntie and my sister, oh, I'm not well, can you bring me this, can you bring me, I'll just go on with it. I had the boxers and the t-shirts and the jeans that I went with, and that's what I came out with. I just got on with it. Just get on with it and get it dealt with. Deal with the problem. Don't be looking for sympathy. Sympathy's not going to fix you. Focusing in yourself is going to fix you, right? Using that and focusing and having drive and getting on top of your mindset and being absolutely hell-bent determined to get better again, you know? I've got an obligation to stay alive. I've got kids to provide for. So I was like, right, well, I've been in some fights over the years and some battles. Sepsis is not going to kill me. No chance. So no poor me, no sympathy. I was just like, bring it on. Bring it on. I'll have that fight. But nasty. I will not joke about it. It kills people. It's a very, very dangerous thing, sepsis. And I've had it 3 times. So I know a little bit about it. And when someone's claiming to have it to their YouTube following, I can categorically say they're talking keek. That's a Scottish term for shite. Alright, people? So thank you for listening as always, very grateful. Hope I've not bored any of you to tears. And I'm going to call it a night. And it's been a pleasure. So hope everyone's well. Hope you're all good, healthy, focused, and look after yourselves, look after one another. Stay steady, striving, you know that one. And just do what you can do to... Yeah, Rob Oldgoth is basically saying something there about people saying, you know, they've got complex post-traumatic stress disorder. It's a very, very nice title. It sounds great. There is absolutely nothing great about it. It's a horrific affliction. It's huge in the ex-services community, and it usually results in good men and women taking their lives, which is absolutely abhorrent in this day and age, that people can't get the help for it. So laying claim to a diagnosis like that, and, you know, using it as building the foundation of your channel and your myth and reputation is not good. It is not a diagnosis that's given out willy-nilly. It takes an awful long time to get there. And yeah, I don't like the abuse of that. That help, the available help that's out there, guys, is reserved for people that need it seriously. You know, and I don't like people that abuse that position. When I was in the queue the third time, I walked across from Partick to the Queen Elizabeth or was it Southern General? I can't even mind. It might have been a Southern. Yeah, the Southern, to get this third time. Was it the Southern? It was the Southern. And I gave my space up to an old woman because they weren't going to see her. And I went, hold the boat here. I says, take her. I'll sit down, just see her. She needs a wee... I think she was okay, but I think she needed a wee bit of reassurance about something. She's probably in the house lonely. And the guy basically was not helping her. So I said, no, come on in here, sweetheart. I says, in you go. And I sat back down, but I was raging. I was angry. And although I got it the third time, it wasn't as bad as the first or the second. So I was a lot more physically able, but I caught it early. I caught it earlier than I did the first time. So yeah, you should never abuse help if help's available. You know, if you need it, ask for it. But don't be saying that you've got this and you've got that. And complex post-traumatic stress is one of the biggest burdens at present on our health services, the NHS. It is massively underfunded and it is massively undiagnosed. So the aftermath of 13 years in Afghanistan, apart from the physicalities, the loss of nearly 500 men and women, is the mental health burden that's been left. This gigantic portion of people that for the rest of their lives will have severe complex disorder, and the help's not available. So when someone's in the numbers stealing the help so they can get benefits money and PIP payments and that, I find that absolutely diabolical. It enrages me, because I know there's guys that were prepared to give their life in the protection of this country, sitting in a house somewhere or a bed sit or a homeless unit with no help at all because they can't get on a waiting list. Yeah, and then some kid on Celebrities abusing that position. I'm going to say no more about it, guys, because it seriously riles me and I don't want to emit that, you know, energy onto anyone, okay? So I'm very grateful. James Zeta, I apologise to you again, mate, for timing you out. It was a slip of the thumb, my big daft thumb. So sorry, buddy. And I appreciate you coming in, James, and commenting and stuff. It's much obliged. Alec McPhee, my man. Jamesy, how you doing? Craig, Billy, Big Billy in Ayrshire, Migsy, all you guys. Thank you very much. As always, I'm super grateful. Thank you to those that contributed tonight. Again, can't thank you enough. It'll get used for something proper. Jojo, my man, how you doing? Need to catch up with you sometime, Jojo, the next time I'm down your way. Right, Cooch, Delhi 74, Big Luca. Right, everyone, Tinkerbell, thank you very much. Remember the Spartans, okay? Stay steady, striving. And I'm going to now work out how to make a moderator. Migsy, you want to meet me? That can happen. Hit me up on Instagram, AC_shine-a-light, or just write something in one of the comments, drop an email or something, I'll get in touch with you. No problem at all. I know James is coming up soon. Lucas coming up as well. And we'll get some stuff organised. This year's just flew in, guys. I had so many plans and it's just been a blinding flash. But listen, we'll find the time, alright? I promise you that. Survival course, yeah, I could do one of them. Right, Billy, next time I'm at Maggie's, I'll see you. Okay, cheers, guys. Thank you very much. I'll talk to you all later. Night, night, everyone. I don't discuss religion. Thank you. Goodbye.